Somebody asked me once, why do yoga? What did I ever get out of doing yoga? And we can do yoga for a lot of different reasons. We can do yoga on a lot of different levels. We can try and work on our physique. We can try and get a nice toned body and, you know, reduce our waistline, get a six-pack or whatever. We can increase our health and vitality because exercise is good for the body. The right posture is good for the body, in that when we have unhealthy posture, we put unnecessary pressure on joints, we put unnecessary pressure on internal organs, we don't breathe properly, and so in that way it's very good for the body. Yoga is also, you know, it's for hundreds, thousands of years it's been used to promote health and to produce the maximum amount of health benefits from the minimum amount of effort. So there are very particular exercises for getting the lymph flow, for improving circulation, for helping digestion, etc., etc., etc. Because really we are not a separate mind, we are not a separate body. And if you believe in a spirit, we're not a separate spirit. There is this continuum with the physical very much at one end, and then gradually getting more and more subtle. So when we work with the physical body, we also work with our minds and our emotions. It doesn't take a lot to verify this. If you remember what it was like when you were anxious, you'll find that you held your body in a certain way. Maybe you were sweating, maybe your breath was fast and shallow, etc., etc., etc. And the same if you think about being happy or laughing or being angry or whatever emotional experience, whatever state of mind, there is a corresponding physical body language, corresponding breath pattern, corresponding physiological reaction. So you can take the body and influence the mind by what you do with the body. You can take the mind and you can influence what happens in the body, and that's why when we're happy, we're healthier. It's very easy. You don't need to do lots of scientific experiments to verify it. When we're happy, when we laugh, when we relax, we let go of stress. You know, even if that's all it is, and I think there's a lot more to it than that, but even if that's all it is, you right there have a connection. But for those of us who want to take yoga further, so beyond, there's the physical health and then there's the mental health applications, yoga can also be used in the subtler end to affect our consciousness, our awareness. In religious terms, connecting more to our soul or to our creator, and in atheist terms, getting in touch with the deepest part of ourselves, the core of ourselves, with whoever or whatever has our experiences. And yoga can be used to work at this level too. Now, all schools of yoga, all kinds of yoga, I believe originally had much the same intention. Yoga itself means union. But of course, different teachers, different styles, within the same school or the same lineage, different practices might work on our continuum, work on this continuum at a different level. So that one might work more in the subtle, one might work more in the physical, one might work more in the mental. But each part will affect the others. At CityZen at the moment we have 2 styles of yoga which we regularly teach. The first one is classical yoga, and we have a Monday night class, which is a combination actually of classical yoga and Kundalini yoga. Classical yoga is working very much with 12 basic postures, and the other style that we teach is Kundalini yoga. Kundalini yoga is a bit more intense, a bit more faster acting or transformational, if you like, because it works not only with the physical body, with the physical postures. We also work with the breath, and in classical yoga maybe you also sometimes work with the breath, but we work with the breath, we work with mudras, we work with mantras, we work with internal body locks, and we do them in very specific sequences as prescribed by a master chef, by a master yogi who said if you combine them in this way for this length of time you get these effects. So we're borrowing leaning on his expertise. So on the Monday night we have a mixture of sometimes Kundalini yoga, sometimes a bit of one followed by a bit of the other, with very much a theme of stress, de-stressing, relaxing, letting go, very gentle, very nurturing. On a Monday night at 7:15. 7:15 on a Tuesday night, it's a little bit more dynamic. We have a pure Kundalini yoga set. And on a Thursday morning at 9:45 we have another pure Kundalini yoga set. At the moment we're also having a monthly Kundalini yoga intensive called Rebirthing with Kundalini Yoga. All the information of this and other workshops and classes which will come are on our website, which is CityZen, which is cityzen.org.uk. That's cityzen.org.uk, or you can email me at info@cityzen.org.uk. But to go back to the original question, why did I do yoga? And I started yoga actually when I just finished training as a therapist, training as a counsellor. But I did yoga because I was in this point in my life where I needed to really change. I was in a right mess and I was in a bit of trouble, and if I kept going the same way I don't think my future would have been very bright. And as much as counselling had helped, what I needed at that point was something slightly different, and that's when I discovered Kundalini yoga, and I just jumped in at the deep end and did it very intensely. And I would say within a year or a year and a half my life was very, very different. Within 3 years it was unrecognizable. And that's the ultimate power of yoga, is that it can be totally transformational. It can be just a little transformational. It can be totally transformational, depending on how intensely you want to do. Thank you very much for listening. I wish you every happiness, I wish you every joy, I wish you every blessing. And I hope to see you here soon. Thank you.